Lots of things that get attributed to Harry and Meghan, of course, and lots of people might say they brought a lot of this blame on themselves. But this particular story, really, you have to say, is it really all their own fault, all their own doing? So as ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, as ever. We're a little bit cooler now, thank goodness. And yes, it's sort of, well, apparently it's normal temperatures now for July. Where is July? Where did June go? Do you think this year's gone quickly? Is it just me? I mean, when I think about it, we were talking about the Platinum Jubilee. Do you remember way back in February? Probably stood outside here as well, freezing, and it just seemed an absolute eternity, didn't it? It's been and gone. Where has that time gone? Well, thank you as ever for sticking with me. Thank you for watching as ever. It truly is nice to have your company. And for all brand new subscribers, it's nice to meet you as well. So do say hello, send a wave, and make sure that we all make you welcome. Back as ever though to your breaking roll story of the day. This particular story, you know, before we go any further, I just have to point out I'm not part of the Sussex squad. I'm not paid by anybody. I'm simply bringing you the news impartial. But when you do these stories where there's two sides to it, you just get sort of all these trolls coming on saying you're paid by them, you're a sugar. Oh, you know, just grow up. The bottom line is we're trying to explain to you exactly the latest problems for Harry and Meghan regarding that Netflix deal, and it is going to be a bit of a problem. So let me explain. Netflix recently announced yet another bumper demise of subscribers to their streaming service, and it's really not a shock when you think about it, because we're all going through the cost of living crisis around the world. Everybody looks at things that they seemingly don't need, you know, hopefully not me. But on a serious note, you do, don't you? You know, you decide not to buy the upper brand of, say, yogurt, or you don't treat yourself as much to things. You know, we all have to cut corners whoever we are. Netflix are no different. They've now decided, of course, that part of their problem was the fact that people were sharing their codes, you know, those sort of their passwords. So lots of people were watching it for nothing, seemingly all the while they were still paying a lot of money to big production companies like Archwell to make programs we've never seen. But of course the big backlash has come because, and you know, get this, Harry and Meghan did get a substantial amount, not all of the money that people think, but they got a substantial amount to, of course, kickstart their media production company with Archwell, and yet we haven't really seen anything. And as we also told you on the show a couple of days ago, they're now hoping to make sure that that particular Invictus documentary will trail on the back of The Crown. Makes perfect sense. If you're a business company, you want to get people watching your product the very best way you can. So moving forward, really, the subscribers are going to be blamed on someone. And very soon, the top brass, the CEOs at Netflix, will be trying to pin it on Harry and Meghan. But are they truly to blame? Well, partly yes. You know, the fact that they came up with a product that seemingly nobody wanted, Pearl, the animation that never got off the ground. And then, of course, we've got the Invictus Games. We're now told there's a sort of docu-reality series coming. Quite see where that's going to be. The bottom line is this. Harry and Meghan were signed in an affluent time. You have to remember, lots of money around, pre-pandemic. People had different priorities. The world wasn't in the turmoil that it's in today. Fast forward a couple of years and people have now changed their viewing habits, and more importantly, as I say, are looking to cut corners. Are two ex-royals who are worth millions still banging on about climate change and taking private jets really now that viewership worthy? And that's the problem that Netflix have. Now, whichever way they do demise this particular deal, and make no mistake, when you sign on for television, there's only one way out, and it's normally the exit door. I know, trust me. But for them it's going to be very difficult, because once a giant like that takes that away from you, where do you go from there? So are really Harry and Meghan to blame for the mass exodus of subscribers? Well, I would certainly say they didn't help the cause, but Netflix didn't help it either by giving them so much money. And now what's really happened is this. The public have voted with their wallets, and they've decided that content or no content, Netflix is simply now not value for money, even with royals attached. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.